Hi everyone,
Hi.
Wendy here.
Brett over here.
Welcome to Car Confessions and Real Estate, and this is our Thanksgiving edition.
And we are so thankful for this edition, for you.
Yes.
All watching and tuning into our channel. It just makes it worth it and more fun, and we're having a blast. So thank you so much. Wendy.
Yes?
I'm starving. What are you thinking? We can go
I'm
get something?
hungry too. I didn't have lunch.
What are you hungry for?
I'm thinking turkey.
Oh, let's go get some turkey. That open-faced turkey gravy with mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce. I don't know why that's so funny, because I'm just thinking of having a turkey sandwich.
I don't know either, but let's go on over and find some place.
All right.
See you all when you come back.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And share and comment.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Car Confessions and Real Estate, and today we have Mike Horan, and he has a very heartwarming Thanksgiving story to share with us today.
Let's do it.
All right. So this happened several years ago. It was the day before Thanksgiving. I take a client out, past client. I've sold a couple houses to, and we're looking for a home for her niece. And I had scheduled, this was a Wednesday.
Wait. Can you tell us what kind of client she was?
You mean who she was?
Who she was?
Who was she, Mike?
Yeah. She was the niece of President Karzai of Afghanistan. So she was royalty. And I didn't know it until this event happened, and she disclosed to me that we had bonded, and this is who she was, which was really kind of cool for me after that, because we became pretty close friends. I got to be invited to several royal events, which was pretty interesting. But so
royalty, wow.
Royalty, yes. So this Wednesday, I set up my showings for or actually it was a Tuesday. I set up my showings for Wednesday showings. And as realtors, we know we need to schedule them in an order that makes sense.
Right.
So
So you're not zipping.
yeah, so I'm not backtracking. And I happen to be in Horse Thief Canyon, so my first stop of the day, my 9 a.m.er, is the only one that I didn't get a confirmation from. So I kept my clients in the car and asked them to hold off until I can knock on the door and make sure that we weren't intruding on somebody. And I did, and I heard when I knocked or rang the bell, then knocked on the door, I was hearing just a strange sound inside that sounded like mama, something saying mama, mama, which was, that's weird. And so I called the agent, and I let her know that I had called and nobody had confirmed with me, and there was an issue. And she said, oh, I know they're gone because I talked to them just within the last half hour on the way to work. They go to work together. The daughter is 14, and she leaves for school at 8:30, and it was now 9 o'clock. So she said, you're fine. I know they have a dog that's been debarked, so it's probably the debarked dog. So as weird as that was, I said, okay. I motioned to my clients to come on up, and we went inside, checked the whole downstairs, including the outside, and then we went upstairs and checked, as we do as realtors, and point out the obvious to our clients. And as we were walking down the stairwell, the wall right next to us, as we're going down, I hear a thump on the wall. Somebody obviously hit the wall. So,
but it was from the other side.
It was from the other side, yeah. And so I
would have ran at that point.
Right? It's haunted. So I ended up walking back into the secondary bedroom, and it had a walk-in closet, and I tapped on the door, and I said, is everything okay? And a boy answered. Now, I had already talked to the agent who told me they had a 14-year-old daughter. So now I'm thinking, all right, I got two kids messing around when they weren't supposed to be. So I just told them we were looking at the house and I'm leaving now, and turned around and started down this stairwell. And the young man passed me before I got to the bottom, and ended up going out the door, headed off to school. Mm-hmm. And
did he look traumatized at all, or was it? He
looked embarrassed.
Oh,
so
okay.
That kind of I don't know. It was the first time I saw him.
Sure, yeah.
So I ended up putting the key in the deadbolt, and I've got my hand on the knob, and I've never had this happen before, but I had this just strange feeling. Just something came over me that wasn't letting me let go or leave. So I went back in the house, I went up the stairs, and I turned the corner to the secondary bedroom, and this 14-year-old girl is leaning against her bedroom desk with her hair strung in front of her face, and I asked her, I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "I can't feel anything."
Oh no.
And I said, "What do you mean?" And as I say that, she starts to fall, and I catch her,
Oh my God.
and I put her on her bed that's right there. And she grabs my forearm and puts a death grip on it, like the strength of 6 men. And
this is a 14-year-old girl?
14-year-old girl, yeah, tiny thing.
She must have been
couldn't have weighed
desperate.
75 pounds.
Wow.
And I continue to ask her what she's taking, what she's on, what she drank, anything. And she's just telling me that she can't feel anything. She's scared. I can't see anything, and I can't feel anything.
No
So I said, "Stay here. I'm going to go get your friend." So I peeled her death grip off of me and ran down the stairs. I yelled at my client asking which way the boy went, and she pointed, and he was about 50 yards up the street. So I went and I grabbed him by the backpack and had him come back. And as we're walking back in the house, she's tumbling down the stairs.
Oh.
She can't see, she can't feel, she's tumbling down the stairs.
Well, that was a good thing.
Yeah, right? So I catch her before she hits the tile.
And cracks her head open.
Yeah, and I've got her cradled.
So that's the second time you
I've
actually was
caught her
there.
twice.
Yeah, my word.
Yeah, broke her fall twice. So I walk her over to the couch, and I've got my phone out, and just as I sit down on the couch, I've got her laid across me. She starts throwing up. And she's throwing up red. And she's throwing up on my arms, my hands, my pants. She's throwing up on me. All I could do is guide her head.
Where are your clients at?
They were waiting for me in the car.
Oh.
Right? And they were awesome. You know, can we help? Can we do anything? And then they just stayed out of the way. Yeah. So I call 911. I tell them what's going on. And one of the most bizarre parts of the story is literally within 90 seconds,
that is so fast.
It's crazy. The fire department is at the house, walking in, and I'm thinking I was in a time warp.
They were
or something,
like right there.
It was immediate
By accident.
And they said,
But not really.
Yeah, lucky for you, we were one street over doing a fire hydrant check this morning.
That was an intervention.
It was crazy.
Definitely an intervention.
Yeah, it was great. So they immediately start screaming at her and tell her not to look at them, breathe towards them, throw up towards them, and I'm thinking,
they have no idea what she's.
Yeah, at the time, I guess hepatitis was a big deal.
Oh, that's
so
why.
I peel myself.
So you're thinking, oh my gosh, what if I just,
I'm soaked. So I go to the kitchen sink and I'm washing myself off, and I take a paper towel and I'm dry, and then I step on the trash can. The lid comes up, and there is a bottle of red wine in there. So I pull that out. I said, well, maybe this was it because it was red. But she drank it so fast, there was no odor. Nothing was coming out of her pores. Her breath didn't even smell like booze. But her eyes were so dilated. I thought it was a drug, some kind of drug. So
alcohol will do that? I didn't even know.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. So they take her off to the hospital. They tell me what hospital it is. I lock up the house. I call the agent. I tell her briefly that the daughter has an issue. They're taking her to the hospital. This is the hospital. Please call the parents. So they did, and I didn't hear anything that whole day. That's Thanksgiving Eve. The next day, midday. Actually, it was more in the afternoon. I'm out playing basketball with my boys, and I get a random phone call from a number I don't recognize, and it was the mother. And the mother asked me, she said, I understand you were the agent that was there.
So she had to do some research to find out who was at the house.
Yeah, she had to contact the agent to see who it was that referred her to get to the hospital. And I told her the whole story that I just told you, and the daughter was on the phone with her, and they were both just bawling in tears. The daughter didn't remember it. And the mother said, had I not gone back in the house, had that feeling, the instinct to go back in the house, that the daughter would have died of alcohol poisoning because she was less than a half hour away with the quantity of alcohol she had. So she had a full bottle of red wine, and then she had a third of a bottle of Crown Royal whiskey.
At 14, at 75
At 14,
pounds, so they,
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And the mom told me that was why they were moving, because she was hanging out with the wrong crowd. The wrong crowd not being the young man that I grabbed by the backpack and drug back to the house. He was actually legitimately there to get her to school, but was scared and didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So it was.
So you saved a life.
I saved a life. Yeah, it was interesting. Very interesting.
So what we need to say is agents need to go by their instincts. It could be safety, and it could be saving somebody else's life. Life had you intervening to help this child. And I think, to me, that's an amazing Thanksgiving story.
And something to be extremely thankful for.
Yeah.
Not only for that family, but also for you. Because I'm sure it would have been devastating had you found out, anything
After the
else.
fact. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I mean, how proud of yourself you can be to listen to yourself and know not to have left.
Right.
So, it ends happy.
Yippee!
It is a good thing. And we want everybody to think about always keep in touch with your relationships and your family and show love.
Thankful and grateful.
Yes. So, okay. Now I forgot what I was going to say because I'm so overcome.
That's okay. It was a very touching story. I mean, not everybody runs into this kind of thing, but...
If you always want to see more of our content, we have stories all around with agents, relationships and stories, and confessions. Please come back to us and like and subscribe, and please make a comment what you thought of this story.
I think you were touched by that story. I hope all of you were touched by that story.
In my heart.
Oh, the time of year too.
See ya, everybody. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank
You're welcome.
you, Mike.
Thank you.
Wendy here.
Brad over here.
Brett over there. And this is our Thanksgiving edition. We are having
It is
fun.
hilarious.
I'm taking turkey.
Oh, let's go get some turkey. That open-faced turkey gravy with mashed potatoes. And where